Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Smelling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are getting to the JRC, but first, disclaimers. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign, or really any of the other stuff we cover on this channel, you will find pertinent links in the description box. Should you like to go ahead and do a deep dive, you can be able to go ahead and do so. Trigger warning, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. I do use profanity. And when we talk about places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people who are being tortured and abused. So if you have children that watch the channel that are 16 and younger, parental supervision very much advised. Now, I did some revising on the title a little bit because I didn't want people to get confused because I had JRC in the title even though they haven't been mentioned yet. I'm going to still continue to cover it through that lens though so that you guys can understand where standard of care actually is, where people both professional and lay would like to see it go. Basically how things are done normally and what we're actually heading towards as opposed to the JRC, which is literally so vastly different from everyone else. Because it hits a little bit different when you can see what is actually considered standard of care and where we would like to go throughout the rest of the planet. It hits different when you can see it, you know? And compare in particular. So, let's get back to where we were. And this is where they're opening public comment, because they were getting ideas in regards to what, in regards to research, do you want to see? What changes to the current standard of care model? That sort of thing. So, Karen Barnett, in the spirit of collaboration, there is a segment of the autistic population that needs a mentor during the transition years of 18 through 21. This is particular something that I mentioned years and years ago. I do still think there should be older to younger mentors because nobody truly understands neurodivergence quite like neurodivergence. To have someone who's already been through the trenches there to help mentor and guide in a way that's not going to end up traumatizing and haunting them years later. I have been a champion of it. And not just that, I've been a champion for many years for mentor-to-mentor programs. Folks like myself can help out parents, sometimes professionals, things of that nature. So yes, transition age services from high school into adulthood needs to be brought to true fruition. It needs to look at least a little bit more uniform, at least in goals. And yes, we should indeed get behind ideas such as older mentoring the younger neurodivergents. I'm a massive believer in that. Massive. Agreed. All medical and psychological service providers should be aware of this need and encouraged to include this staff and service. The mentor would focus on all transition needs, especially financial, as the specialized school does not wish to take on these tasks. Please make this happen now. Thanks. Now, some states do have that out here. When I say that was a battle that involved myself, it involved my own advocacy group that I was running at the time, it involved Judavine and quite a few other people. And eventually, within about a solid 2-year push, by the end of my time with the state, before I moved on to FedEx Trade Networks, I was beginning to see the results. The folk rehab pilot project had just got off the ground. But yes, there's still a massive, massive need for those types of services. Big time. Because there's not a lot of supports for that time period, and almost next to none for people sitting around my age. And I know that's something in particular Art's been hammering on, especially the last few years. But yes, agreed. Finally a Karen I agree with. What would I call that? Is she Alpha Karen? That's horrible. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. That's horrible. Ignore that. Ignore that. Alright, we're going to do one more, which is Andrea Halliday. And it just says, please provide people with disabilities to have jobs, learn how to use public transportation, have affordable housing. There are programs through places like ARC, but as I've told you guys previously, not everybody has access to that. So yes, some things really do need to get a little bit more uniform. And affordable housing has unfortunately gone from one thing that we predominantly had issues with to everybody's having issues with. We just need affordable housing, period. And that's not getting into reasonable accommodations, adjustments, what all that crap costs. Because you all don't want to know, I'm still traumatized having seen that. In 2013, I'm going to go ahead and close out, guys. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do get tend to get removed from time to time. You folks know the drill. If you be so kind, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, don't forget to hit the comments, and make sure that you are still set up to receive notifications. We are continuing with Down the Rabbit Hole in the Snake Oil Salesman series. We definitely do not want you all missing anything. And by the way, oh my gosh, guys, the Snake Oil Salesman series has took off in a way I was not anticipating. A drop in a bucket, not even a trickle to the big channels, but seeing those videos start reacting at views in the hundreds, I love you all. You are wonderful. I appreciate your time, and as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. We'll see you all another time. Bye-bye now.